Listen to me. So we are here today to once again describe about the meristematic tissue. Now, what is meristematic tissue? Yes, come on, give me the answer. What is meristematic tissue? Yes, what is
Ma'am, a
meristematic
type of
tissue?
plant tissue.
It is a plant tissue, but what is so special about it? Yes, Anushka.
मैम मेरिस्टेमेटिक टिश्यू
can
वो होता है
divide
जिसके सेल्स मैम ग्रो करते
from new
रहते हैं.
cells.
Anushka, can you repeat yourself?
Ma'am, it can divide itself.
Yes, meristematic tissue has the ability to grow. Yes, Manan Bhatia, you can also say. What is a meristematic tissue?
मैम मेरिस्टेमेटिक टिश्यू वो होते हैं जो अपने टाइम के साथ साथ ग्रो करते रहते हैं.
हाँ, तो you just speak in English only. मतलब because your answers, whenever you will be answering the question, the mode of writing the answer will be English. So try to speak it in that manner, in that language in which you have to give the answer. Okay. So meristematic tissue, the cells which make up the meristematic tissue is called as meristematic tissue. So meristematic cells have the ability, they have the power that they can divide and help in the growth of the plant So the tissue, which has the ability to grow is called as meristematic tissue. Now we are going to discuss about their characteristic features, what all are the features of the meristematic cells. Like I told you that the meristematic cells are small. Meristematic cells are small and is thin walled. That is the cell wall of the meristematic cells. The cells which make up the meristematic tissue, the cell wall of those is small, right? The cell wall of the meristematic tissue is thin. They are compactly arranged without intercellular space. Now, what is intercellular space? For example, if the cells are arranged in compact manner without any space between, is there any space within these cells? If we consider that all the rectangular boxes are the cells, is there any space between the cell? Between the two cells? Space between the two cells is called as intercellular space. For example, if I try to arrange the cells in this way, you can see that there is the small space, and this space we call as intercellular space. The space between the cells is called as intercellular space. Is there any space between these cells? Is there any intercellular space between the cells which I have arranged? No. So this one of the characteristic features of meristematic cells, that is those cells which make up the meristematic tissue. These cells will be called as meristematic cells, and together it will be called as meristematic tissue. Okay. So they are compactly arranged. The cells of meristematic tissue are compactly arranged without any Without any space, without any intercellular space. There is no intercellular space. Now, if I talk about the shape, of the cells of meristematic tissue or the meristematic cells are either rectangular or they are spherical. They are isodiametrical. Isodiametrical means where the diameter is always same. Okay. They can be spherical, they can be oval, they can be polygonal, they can be rectangle. Any shape they can have out of this. Means they can be spherical, they can be oval shape also. It is not like this cell is an oval shaped cell. They can be rectangular cells also. And let me tell you, the cell wall of meristematic tissue, the cell wall of the meristematic cell is thin. The cell wall of the meristematic cell is thin and is made up of cellulose. What it is made up of? Cellulose. Okay. The cell wall of the meristematic cells is thin and is made up of cellulose. They can be of any shape. They can be polygonal shape. They can be rectangle. They can be spherical. Okay. Now, what about their cytoplasma? The cytoplasma of the cell is dense. The cytoplasma of the meristematic cell is dense. And it has small vacuole. Vacuole is small or do not have vacuole at all. They are having small vacuole or don't have the vacuole at all, right? So the first characteristic feature we discussed about the meristematic cell is that cells of the meristematic tissue are living. Cells of the meristematic tissue are living. Second, they are compactly arranged without any intercellular space. Third characteristic is that meristematic cells are spherical. They can be rectangular. They can be polygonal, right? They can be spherical also. Okay. Then what about the cell wall? The cell wall of the meristematic cell is thin, which is made up of cellulose. It is made up of cellulose. And the cytoplasma is dense. Cytoplasma is dense. The nucleus of the cell is prominent. The nucleus of the cell is prominent and is centrally located. यानी जो न्यूक्लियस का लोकेशन है, it is in the center of the cell. The location of nucleus is in the center of the cell, but the vacuole is small, either it is absent. And the cells are living, so the cells have ability to grow. Is it clear? All the characteristics are clear? Yes. Are the characteristics now clear? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, no problem. Now, on the basis of their location, we are having three types of meristematic tissue. On the basis of the location, we are having three types of the meristematic tissue. Now, what are the three types of meristematic tissue? One by one, we will be discussing. Although their function is same, that they have the ability to grow, so they will help in growth of the plant. But due to the location of these meristematic tissue, they have been differently divided. Like we are having apical meristem, we are having intercalary meristem, and we are having lateral meristem. Now one by one. So their function is same. But why they are different? Because of their, how we have been able to differentiate them? Because of their what?
Location.
Location. Very good. Because of their location, they have been divided into three types. Otherwise, function is same. All the cells of apical meristem, intercalary meristem, lateral meristem have all these characteristic features are same. Like they all are having They all are of rectangular shape. They all can have different shapes, like they can be spherical, rectangular, polygonal, or isodrimetric. Then regarding their cytoplasma, they all have dense cytoplasma. Regarding their cell wall, they all have thin cell wall, right? They all have thin cell wall and dense cytoplasma. Then regarding the nucleus, they all have the prominent nucleus with the center location, and vacuole is either absent or it is absent, or it is very small in size, right? But what is different is only their location. So on the basis of their location, we are having three types of meristematic tissue. Now, what are the three types of meristematic tissue? One is intercalary meristem. Is the
Yes,
diagram
ma'am.
visible? Okay. So, can you tell me which meristematic tissue is present in the roots and in the shoot? Name the meristematic tissue which is present in the root and the shoot of the plant.
Ma'am, apical meristem.
Apical meristem.
Apical meristem. You know, the meristematic tissue which is found in the base of the leaves, where from the leaf arises, that is called as, what is that called?
Intercalary meristem.
Intercalary meristem, and which increases the girth of the branch or the girth of the plant. There in the stem of the plant, what is present?
Lateral
Lateral
meristematic tissue.
meristem.
So that is why I said that although their primary function is to help in the growth of the cell, as the growth of the plant, sorry, it helps in the growth of the plant, but on the basis of the different location, the meristematic cells have been divided into three types of meristem. One is apical meristem, one is intercalary, and one is lateral. Like if I tell you about the apical, now we will be describing about the apical meristem, which is found in the growing tips of shoot. That is the aerial part of the plant, which is found in the growing part of the shoot and in the growing tips of the root. And it is also found in the growing tips of the, you can see these leaves. It is also found in the growing tips of the leaves where my cursor is there. So it is found in these growing tips also. Is that clear? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, what is its primary function? Its primary function is to help in increase the length of the plant. Is to help in increase the length of the plant. Now, if I draw the diagram of plant on the board, let me ask you the different parts of the plant. Although you may be definitely well aware, if this is the plant, what are these which are below the ground?
Roots.
Yes, these are called as roots of the plant. So in the growing tips of the root, which meristematic tissue is present? In the growing tips of the root,
Apical
Apical
meristem.
there is
meristem.
the presence of apical meristem. Okay, what is this part? Where no leaves are there, what is this part called?
Stem.
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 Or it is, yeah, it is also called as trunk or stem of the plant. Okay, then this is the aerial part of the plant. There are the leaves, different branches. From the branches, there are the leaves, right? So in this, where the growth of the stem is taking place, that is called a shoot. Which meristematic tissue is there?
Lateral meristem.
Apical meristematic
Apical
tissue.
meristem.
Apical meristem. So apical meristem is responsible for the what? for the growth of the plant, for the growth of the, for length, it helps in increasing the length of the roots, or it also helps in increasing the length of the plant. Right? Means it is responsible for the elongation of plant. It is responsible for increasing the length of the plant. Which is responsible for increasing the length? Yes. Which
Apical
meristem?
meristematic
Apical
tissue.
meristem. Apical meristem or apical meristematic tissue. Okay, you can name it like. Then second, the place where from the branch arise or the leaf arise, that is called as base. Either the base of the leaf or base of the branch. Okay, at the nodes or the internodes, this is the place where the intercalary meristem is present. What is present? At the base of the
Intercalary meristem.
at the base of that point where from the leaf will arise or the branch will arise, there will be the presence of intercalary meristem. Now, what is the function of this intercalary meristem? The function of this intercalary meristem is to help in increase the length of the branch. It helps in increasing the length of the leaf. It also helps in increasing the length of the branch. Am I clear? Now we are going to talk
Yes,
about lateral meristem. If this is the trunk of the meristem, this is the stem of the meristem. Lateral meristem is found in this, in the cambium. All right. Okay. Now what is the function? It is found beneath the cambium or beneath the bark. It helps in increasing the diameter, the girth of the plant. For example, if we consider that this is the stem of the plant, the diameter here, there inside there will be the presence of intercalary. Sorry, there will be the presence of lateral meristem. Inside there will be the presence of the lateral meristem. For example, this is, although I know that this is a steel thermos, but still I am saying that if you will consider this thermos, this cylindrical object as the tree trunk or tree stem or stem of the tree, the the lateral meristem is present inside in the cambium, and it helps in increasing the diameter. When the girth of the plant is increased by lateral meristem. Am I clear on this point or not? Yes. Okay. Now, if I bring the actual plant here, you can see to it that I am having what is there in my hand, a branch of the tree. We will like to identify the various types of meristematic which we can identify. Let me tell you, you can see this part. Do you see this part? Yes. This is the shoot. So which meristematic tissue will be present here? Because
Apical meristem.
yes, apical meristem, it helps in increasing the length of the plant, right? Right?
Yes.
So if I ask you that where from the leaf arise, where from the leaf arise, right? Either this or this. Where from the leaf arise, what is this called?
Intercalary meristem.
Intercalary meristem.
There is the presence of the intercalary meristem, and intercalary meristem is responsible for increasing the length of the. If I ask you that which meristematic tissue is found in the growing tips of the leaves?
Apical meristem.
Apical meristem. Very good.
Apical meristem.
Apical meristem. Let me tell you, these places where from the leaf arises. The places where from the leaf arises. These are called as nodes. What are these places called?
Nodes.
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 Okay. N-O-D-E, nodes. N-O-D-E-S, nodes. At the basis of the internodes, which meristematic tissue is present here?
Intercalary meristem.
Intercalary.
meristem.
Okay. Now, if I consider that this branch, who will help in increasing the girth of the plant, which is present here?
Lateral meristem.
Lateral meristem. Let me tell you that
meristem.
bark of the plant. Let me show. Like we are having the skin. We are having the skin, and this portion which I have removed, what is it called? It is called as bark of the plant. And beneath this bark, let me show you. If I have this plant and I remove the bark of this plant, this is which I am removing. The part which I am removing is called as bark of the plant. It is called as bark of the plant, and the tissue which will be present here is, which tissue will be present here? Beneath the bark, which tissue will be present here, which will help in increasing the diameter? Come on. Which tissue?
Lateral meristematic
Yes,
tissue.
lateral meristem. Inside this, it is called as cambium. If it would have been a trunk, inside there is cambium. Okay. I think I'm clear. Okay. Now, when the tissue will lose the ability to grow, what it will form is called as meristematic tissue. What it will form is called as meristematic tissue. Right? Sorry, where it is called as a permanent tissue. It will be called as permanent tissue. Once this meristematic tissue stops the growth, there are the cells which help in growth of the plant, which help in increasing the length, which help in increasing the girth, which help in increasing the length of the roots. But once these cells which are present in the growing tips, of the plant, once they lose this ability to grow, once they lose this ability to divide, what they form is called as permanent tissue. What they form is called as
Permanent tissues.
permanent tissue. So it is the meristematic tissue only from which the permanent tissue are made. So when the meristematic tissue loses its ability to grow, or when the meristematic cells become mature enough that now there is no growth, so at that time these meristematic cells or the meristematic tissue will be called as permanent tissue.
Permanent tissue.
Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
मेरिस्टेमेटिक टिश्यू से ही परमानेंट टिश्यू बनता है, but when the meristematic tissue loses its ability to divide, that is, they are not able to grow any longer, so at that time these meristematic tissue will be known as what?
Permanent tissue.
Permanent tissue.
Okay, now we are going to discuss about the characteristic features of the permanent tissue. Now I will be asking you because just now we have discussed about the characteristic features of the meristematic tissue. So now we are going to discuss about the characteristic features of the permanent tissue. Okay. If I ask you that what is the shape of the cells of meristematic tissue? What is the shape of the cells of meristematic tissue?
Ma'am, any shape, rectangular, spherical, oval.
Yes, they are having oval, rectangular, rounded, or polygonal. In the same manner, when these cells will lose their ability to grow, will there any change in the shape? Generally, there is no change in the shape of the cells. So that is why the cells of permanent tissue are also of different types, like they can be spherical, they can be polygonal, they can be rectangular, depending upon कि meristematic cell का कैसा shape है. Because the difference is only that they will lose the ability to grow. Right? Like in human, do any kind of change occur in the physical features? Do the shape and size of a human change as they grow old? Come on. Do any kind of do you see any kind of change in the shape, in the characteristic features? क्या शक्ल इंसान की चेंज हो जाती है as the age progresses? Yes. If I talk,
Ma'am, yes.
Minus.
but in case of the but अगर हम general overall देखें तो your parents when you were young were of same
Ma'am, their height grow.
height does not grow up. They have lost their ability to grow the height. They are living. Just now, that point also I will clear. Like, it is once after 18 years of age. Is it that height of a person grow?
No.
Ma'am, no.
No.
Although they are living. Although all are in the same manner, the shape of the permanent tissue is also spherical, round, polygonal, rectangle. Okay. Second is that cells of the meristematic tissue are living. Cells of the meristematic tissue are living and have the ability to divide. But the cells of the permanent tissue may be living or may be dead. May be living or may be dead. But those who are living do not have ability to grow. Like we, the human beings, after 18 years of age, after 19 years of age, we cannot grow. The height of the person cannot grow. But we are living in the same manner. They don't have the ability to grow. The permanent tissue cells which are living don't have the ability to grow. Right? Okay. Like in case of meristematic tissue, the intercellular space within the cells is absent. But whereas in case of permanent tissue, there can be some intercellular space in the cells of the permanent tissue. What about the cell wall of meristematic cells? What is their cell wall? Thin or thick?
Thin.
Thin, and it is made up
Not
of
thin. Cellulose.
Cellulose.
cellulose. Very good. But if I talk about the cell wall of the permanent tissue, it can be thin or thick. It can be thin or thick.
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 Okay. I have tell you, I just described about the cytoplasma also. That the cytoplasma of meristematic cell is
Dense.
dense, whereas the cytoplasma of permanent tissue is thin. The cytoplasma of permanent tissue is thin. Okay, what about the nucleus? The nucleus of meristematic tissue is, the nucleus of the meristematic tissue is prominent and is centrally located.
Centered.
It is prominent and is centrally located, but the nucleus of permanent tissue is small. The nucleus of permanent tissue is relatively small and is present in the peripheral region, and is present in the peripheral region of the cell. Peripheral region means side में, cell के side में, okay, towards the cell membrane. Am I clear? So this was
Yes,
the characteristic features of permanent tissue. Any question?